In the headlines, mother of 28-year-old Adamu Ahmadu, accused of stealing and torture to death, seeks justice. Police rescue 24 kidnapped victims in Zamfara State. Governor Zulum as fire raises internally displaced persons camp in Maiduguri. And on the foreign scene, suicide bomber kills 13 in central Somalia. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Martia Umar. Now the news in detail. Mother of Adamu Ahmadu, a 28-year-old man who is wrongly accused of stealing a phone and tortured to his death, says she wants justice for the killing of her son. In an exclusive chat with Trust TV, Aminu said Hamidu Umar, who ordered his son beaten, never showed remorse even after the missing phone is found by his wife in the home. Adamu was accused of stealing a mobile phone on January 22, 2022, and complications from his torture eventually resulted to his death on February 13, 2022. The report.
Two men are now facing trial for the death of a 28-year-old man wrongly accused of stealing a phone belonging to his boss. One of the men is Hamidu Umar, a 51-year-old, on whose orders the 28-year-old was tortured with complications which later resulted in death of the victim. His co-accused is another man, Shole Manas. The men have been remanded in prison custody for criminal conspiracy, torture, and homicide. Two other accomplices in the torture of Adamu are said to be on the run, but the police in the state has promised they will be apprehended and brought to face justice. Hamidu had allegedly accused Adamu, who was working with him, of being in possession of his missing phone. Although Adamu denied taking the phone, but his boss, still adamant that Adamu was in possession of the phone, ordered the lad to produce the phone or have himself to blame. According to the mother's account, Umar then ordered some boys to torture her son in a bid to retrieve the missing phone. Three lads thereafter engaged in beating her son with wood and blocks to force out a confession from him. The son sustained several fractures on both hands and later died from complications resulting from torture. The missing phone was subsequently discovered in Hamidu's home by his wife, tucked away inside one of the sofas in their living room. This is the residence of the deceased. The sibling showed us his brother's grave. Here, his remains were interred. Adamu's mom is still grieving. Grief has no better description than a mother saddened by the death of her child, scorned by that child's killers. Sympathizers are still coming to pay their condolences to the family, and this was where Adamu was beaten and tortured. When Trust TV visited the parents of the deceased, the mood was somber. The deceased mother, still grief-stricken, lamented the lack of remorse shown by Hamidu Umar, who ordered the torture of her son that resulted in his death.
My elder brother and other relatives decided to report the incident to the CID. On Friday at about 11 a.m., Malam Sedaka paid us a visit. He had asked me if the person responsible for beating up my son had visited him or contributed anything towards his treatment, and I told him no. Malam Sedaka immediately called him and insisted they come to visit my son. When he came and learned that the issue has been reported to the CID, he gave me 10,000 naira for treatment and I refused to collect it. They were later arrested and on Monday we went to court in Shagari. They tried to intimidate us outside the court, saying that since we are neighbors, and reside in the same community, we should settle out of court. And I told him no. Even if my son had stolen the phone, they should have come to me or report to the authorities. But after torturing my son, the phone was discovered in their living room, proving he was innocent all along. All I want now is justice for my son.
Zamfara State Police Command has rescued 24 kidnapped victims who have been abducted in Gurugurawa local village of Bungudu local government area of the state. And confirming the incident, the command spokesperson SP Muhammad Shehu said the victims were rescued following a gun battle between the security personnel and the terrorists. It said police tactical operatives received a distress call that armed bandits in large numbers have invaded Gurugurawa village and abducted some community members, adding that the tactical operators in collaboration with the vigilante group in the area swung into action and mobilized to the location for an extensive search and rescue operation. Shehu maintained that as a result of the superior firepower of the tactical operators, the hoodlums fled and abandoned the victims at the scene. Zamfara State Commissioner of Police CP Ayuba N. Elkana commended the resilience of the operatives and enjoined them to sustain the tempo. He assured members of the public of police continuous commitment to end the lingering security challenges bedeviling the state. Over 2,000 houses have been gutted by fire in Kalari Muna IDP camp in Maiduguri. The inferno also killed 3 people and injured many on Friday. Governor Umar Zulum, who visited the scene, said the IDPs will be resettled soon. The report.
The fire outbreak started at about 1:30 p.m. on Friday during the Jumat prayers. This is the 6th time Muna IDP camp has suffered fire outbreak in the past years. The latest incident destroyed thousands of houses, killing 1 person and many injured. Mariam Shetima lost her belongings in the flames. She was at the farm when it occurred. The 50-year-old widow of 8 children said she spent the night without roof and help is yet to come. I couldn't bring anything out. The dress I'm wearing is the only thing I have. Last night I slept outside. I'm from the Kwara local government. I can't go back there because Boko Haram are still disturbing people. A child was killed in the fire. The mom went to grind something. When she came back, we helped her to rescue the child, but it was already late and nothing was taken out of the house. If the government will help us, we'll be glad, because we are tired of this fire incident reoccurring. Moments later, the state governor visited the camp to assess the level of damages. He assured to intervene in their plight, saying the IDPs will be relocated.
Ideally, this camp is among the IDP camps that are to be closed in Borno State. Fortunately, now we are able to close the IDP camps that are inside the town. This is not an official IDP camp, but it's one of our IDP camps that we are penciling it down for settlement. Looking at what has happened in this IDP camp, very soon, Borno State government together with the federal government and indeed the humanitarian partners will be here to assess the situation and come up with recommendations that will ensure the immediate relocation of this IDP camp to a place which is better than this place. Not necessarily.
Muna camp houses IDPs from 8 different local governments. It's the largest unofficial camp in Borno State.
And now to political matters. Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State says he's making consultations to decide if he will be contesting the 2023 presidential election. Tambuwal, who disclosed this while featuring in an exclusive interview on Trust TV, said he will make his decision public based on the outcome of his consultations. Speaking on his decision to change political parties, he said he lost confidence in the way Nigeria is being run by President Muhammadu Buhari.
Well, I've given my commitment to it that I will be consulting, and I'm still consulting. I will start going out publicly on the consultations. I've done some bit of underground consultations. I'll now start, possibly by next week, public appearances on those consultations. And at the end of it all, after getting the feelers and measuring the political barometer, I'll make my position known very soon. Well, as I said, it's something I've tried before. You are aware, 2014, 2015, consultations made me not to run. The outcome of my consultations made me not to run, 2015. The outcome of my consultations made me to run in 2018. So I cannot say with certainty now that this is how the outcome is going to be. I am going to consult, and then I'll come out latest by February to make my position known. I took the risk against the tide and decided to pretend with the PDP because I lost confidence in the way Nigeria was being run by President Muhammadu Buhari as far back as 2017, 2018. And I made my position known. And I campaigned on the basis of that, here in Sokoto and nationally. So my changing of political parties is circumstantial. And it has never changed my own ideals, my ideology, my person, what I believe in. And I've always said that our political parties in Nigeria have never been, particularly from 1999 till now, ideologically driven. Otherwise, what is President Muhammadu Buhari doing with certain characters in APC? How do their path cross? I don't want to mention names, but they are there. Some are in his cabinet, and you know that they don't share anything in common apart from being human beings.
And now to Kwara State, where youths across the 16 local government area have staged a rally calling on the former Senate President Bukola Saraki to publicly declare his interest in the forthcoming presidential election. The youths say he has the capabilities and experience to lead the country out of its present challenges.
Youths and women trooped out in their numbers, marching around major streets in Ilorin to the private residence of the former Senate President Bukola Saraki to request that he declares his intention to contest for Nigeria's presidency come 2023. The youths, who were received by the People's Democratic Party PDP State Chairman Babatunde Muhammad, said they are of the opinion that Saraki has what it takes to get Nigeria out of its present challenge.
We are youths who are calling for good governance. We are calling for the Nigerian youth to get their PVC and to make sure they participate in the nationality system so that we can bring about a credible leadership in this country. I will check on this. We the youths, we want youths, people with zeal, people with experience, people that have done it before, people that will believe that can change the fortune of Nigeria to progress. After coming together, after having this town hall meeting with youth, Nigerian youth now came together and look who is that man that has this track record. We now see the only man that can unite Nigerians at this particular time Nigeria is so divided is the president of the 8th Assembly, which is Dr. Abubakar Bukola Saraki. And that is the reason today we came here to beg him to come out and contest for the Nigerian president, because we are expecting him to have declared publicly, but till now he has not done that. We might not know. Maybe some forces in Nigeria tell him not to contest. That is why we came to beg him that he should please come out and lead us. We want him to lead us because during his time at the National Assembly, we see that all their senators are united, and that is a place that we have representative of all tribes in Nigeria.
I think today's program is very unique. Unique in the sense that the entire youth in Kwara State, both male and female, they have gathered to tell the people of Kwara State that we are now appealing to our highly respected leader, our indefatigable national leader, distinguished Senator Dr. Abaka Bukola Saraki, the former president of the Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are appealing the youth of Kwara State, are appealing to him to please come out to contest for the presidential ticket of our great party PDP in 2022, and we are very sure that inshallah Nigerians are going to vote for him. He's going to become the next president of this great country in 2023.
Meanwhile, in another location, members of the Progressives Youths in the state inaugurate local government coordinators to sensitize members on the need to have the voters' card ahead of the general election.
The Kwara New Generation Forum is an independent campaign movement dedicated for the re-election of His Excellency Malam Abdulrazak Abdurrahman as Governor of Kwara State come 2023. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I feel bold to say that this strategic initiative is premised on the primic fact of the word, the reward of work well done is the opportunity to do more. It is obvious that His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak ventured on people-oriented government from onset. He has today positively impacted the lives of Kwarans so much in the annals of Kwara State politics and economy. The most important is that he has been able to change the demographic governance narrative for good. There is a clear-cut paradigm shift from the old ways that made Kwara and our people stagnant to the new track of all-round development for the common good of all.
You're watching Trust TV News Update, and coming up after the break, how misinformation contributes to COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Before the rest of the news, let's take a look at our top stories. We told you that mother of Adamu Ahmadu, a 28-year-old man who is wrongly accused of stealing a phone and tortured to his death, says she wants justice for the killing of her son. And Zamfara State Police Command has rescued 24 kidnapped victims who have been abducted in Gurukurawa village of Bungudu local government area of the state. And moving on to more news, Nigeria's daily COVID-19 count maintained a relatively low figure on Saturday with 22 new cases confirmed in 5 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) published the new cases in its update for February 19, 2022. The fatality toll remains 3,014 as the agency reported no new death on Saturday. Meanwhile, 38 patients were confirmed to have been discharged across the country on Saturday. So far, a total of 254,243 coronavirus cases have now been recorded across the country, out of which the 230,587 patients have recovered. Concerns over safety, side effects of COVID-19 vaccine have been identified among factors fueling vaccine hesitancy, even among those who have taken first jab of the vaccines. National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, said the hesitancy is due to misinformation, disinformation, among other causes circulating in the media space. NPHCDA, however, assures the citizens of the safety of vaccines as critical to achieving public health immunization goals. Trust TV's Aisha Salihu reports.
Vaccination hesitancy, even in the midst of a global pandemic, is a major barrier to the elimination of several highly contagious and deadly diseases. While COVID-19 vaccines are getting the most attention, suspicions of safeness of the vaccine impairs successful vaccination procedure in the country.
Personally, I am always scared of anything vaccine. Even though I took vaccines when I was little, when I was growing up, but I've not taken the COVID vaccine. But I think it's very important to take vaccines. Necessary.
I didn't take it serious, personally. Not because I've had any rumor or any negative thing, no. Because within that my domain, it's a thing I can just walk to any maybe nearby healthcare and take a shot. But I will do that very soon.
So I've taken the first dose and they gave me the second dose. The date is almost at hand. But the people there are no more there. Under the beggar from under the bridge there. They're no more there. All the time when I pass there, I don't see anybody around. They gave me to the second, but they are no more there. I do not encourage it. For those of us that took it, we are regretting. Why should we go gamble into something that does not exist?
I heard many about it, and mostly why I do not go for it is I am scared of it taking injection. So that is why mostly.
My elder brother is a medical doctor. He has taken, and the wife refused to take. And when we look at the opinion of the wife, when my elder brother, who is a medical doctor, took it, for almost 2 weeks, he was complaining of pains all over and all of that, the ankles, even when the kid gets to the hospital, he's just lying down there like, what is happening to say, since ever he took that COVID, so there are many versions to it, there are a lot of things. Some persons took it and it did them more harm than good. So.
Although the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency noted that part of the reasons for the vaccine hesitancy in the country is misinformation, fear of injection, and side effects of the vaccine.
People tend to believe so much nowadays on social media, which is the main channel for misinformation and disinformation. We have this consistent hesitancy among our people. However, we also noticed that from our data over time, this trend is reducing, although not at the pace that we would love to. The hesitancy among our people is basically because there's a lot of distrust in the system. And we also have some people, just because they are scared of injections. We do know, we've seen situations where people that you don't expect, when they are being given administered vaccine, you see the way they scream, they are so scared. This what you are taught is so strong, and it doesn't just this is not to any gender, anybody.
The NPHCDA representative went on to address the safety of the vaccine, adding that the first dose alone does not provide enough protection against the virus.
Having just the first dose does not provide enough protection for the individual. So we encourage people to have the courage, the boldness to go for the second dose and even the booster dose.
The COVID-19 vaccine is recommended as the best way to protect people from the deadly disease and save thousands of lives. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in another development, 2 Benin Bronzes have been returned to a traditional palace in Nigeria more than a century after they were pillaged by British troops, raising hopes that thousands more artifacts could finally be returned to their ancestral home. The artifacts, mostly in Europe, were stolen by explorers and colonizers from the Benin Kingdom, now southwest Nigeria, and are among Africa's most significant heritage objects. At a colorful ceremony in Benin City on Saturday to mark the return of the cockroach sculpture and the head of an Oba, Palace spokesman Charles Edosowa said some of the bronzes have been taken as far away as New Zealand, the United States and Japan. The two artifacts were handed over to the Nigerian High Commission in October by the University of Aberdeen and Cambridge University's Jesus College, but have yet to return to their ancestral home. The return is another milestone in the years-long fight by African countries to recover looted works, as numerous European institutions are grappling with the cultural legacies of colonialism. Some 90% of Africa's cultural heritage is believed to be in Europe, French art historians estimate. And on the foreign scene, at least 13 people have been killed in central Somalia on Saturday after a suicide bomber detonated explosive in a restaurant packed with local officials and politicians. Police spokesman Dini Robo Ahmed said the dead were mostly civilians and 20 other people were wounded in the town of Maiduguri, adding that the blast caused huge damage. Police and government officials confirmed the restaurant attack was the result of a suicide bomber, but did not give the number of casualties. The attack took place despite security being tightened in Maiduguri on the eve of a first round of voting for parliamentary seats in the constituency, 340 kilometers north of the capital, Mogadishu. Reports say Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack. And we have come to the news update at this hour. For more information, please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching.